Hi guys, this is edge70.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the Motorola edge70 Fusion. We have previously unboxed and reviewed the Motorola edge70, the regular one, the slim one, and also we have played with the Motorola, well, Signature. Should have been an Ultra, but here we are. Once again, Motorola is a partner with the FIFA Championship this year, taking place in Mexico, Canada and US. And here we are with the box of the newcomer. So the edge70 Fusion is sort of like an edge70 Lite, but it's not to be ignored. It's the biggest battery Motorola phone I've ever tested. Here in Europe I have it with the 7000 mAh unit. There's also a version out there with 5200, and the upgrades from the predecessor are pretty clear. You get a bigger screen, bigger battery. Instead of the MediaTek processor, you're getting a Snapdragon. So let's see what's inside the box. By the way, the backside features a special nylon imitation texture for this material, while the frame is made of plastic. We have previously done a hands-on with the product, but back then it was the 5200 mAh version, and now it's the better spec one. There are differences between Europe and India. India has a better processor than us. They have Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, we have 7S Gen 3. So yeah, there's that. Now in the box we find the following accessories. So there's a cable going from USB-C to USB-C. This is the key used to access the slots, and only nano SIM. We don't have micro SD. We have these stickers which are mandatory by the EU: energy rating, battery life, drop resilience, ease of repair, battery cycles, and IP68 certification. Of course, a bunch of manuals and useful stuff like that, and also juridic info. And I think that's pretty much it, as well as a case which is transparent. It's a bumper case, there's no charger in the box. Now let's speak about the device. So as usual, we have Pantone colors here. The partnership goes on. Right now Motorola and Lenovo have solid partnerships with Pantone, Firmenich, the World Cup, and the list goes on and on. The Pantone hues are called Orient Blue, Sporting Green, Blue Surf, Country Air, and Silhouette. And here I have the Silhouette Black apparently, and this is the 7000 mAh unit which we have here. Okay, so once again, this is the plastic material for the frame, just in case you're wondering. And aside from being IP68 certified, it's also IP69 certified and military standard certified. It measures 7.99 millimeters in thickness. The version with the smaller battery is obviously skinnier, and weighs 193 grams with a 7000 mAh battery. Slight slope for the camera area here, and moving on to the screen, as I said before, it's now bigger than the predecessor. We have migrated from 6.67 inches to 6.78 inches, AMOLED, 1 billion colors, and 144 Hz refresh rate, which was 120 on the predecessor, so it's an upgrade. 5200 nits of brightness in a peak, and a resolution which is around Full HD+, plus Gorilla Glass 7 eye protection. Now inside the phone, let's see what we have. So as I said before, Qualcomm Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 is the CPU here, while in India is Gen 4. It's accompanied by 12 gigs of RAM, so at least there's that, and also 256 gigabytes of storage. I wish it was 512, but yeah, there's not a version with that. Apparently there's also a version with 8 gigs of RAM on board. And just as a confirmation, we have here an amazing battery, the biggest on a Motorola so far, and it's this one, 7000 mAh. And you should probably also know about this battery that it charges pretty fast. It charges at 68 watts via wire. Now let me clean this phone a bit, and we'll get straight back into it. Okay, so 7000 mAh. It should be silicon carbon, which means it's pretty resilient for the battery cycles and all that. And moving further from the battery, on the connectivity side of things, we're pretty well spec'd, I would say. So we're getting Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 6.0, GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, NFC, USB-C 2.0, and all that jazz. So yeah, everything checks out. The fingerprint scanner is of the optical variety. It's embedded in the screen, and I think it's time to move on to the cameras. Now here in the top side of the screen, we have a punch hole for a selfie camera, which is a 32 megapixel shooter. It shoots 4K video, which is good news. Well, if you move on the back side, it may seem like a triple camera. It's actually a dual camera. The main sensor is a 50 megapixel one f1.8 aperture PDAF optical image stabilization and that's once again the main one. It's seconded by a 13 megapixel camera, f2.2 aperture, 120 degrees, ultra wide. There's also the LED flash here, and it shoots 4K video in 30 frames per second. But there's an extra sensor in the mix. It's a special flicker sensor which gets rid of the annoying bars that a neon light would trigger. Now, as far as the software is concerned, it's obviously Android 16, and just so you know, you're getting only 3 years of Android updates. So here we can see the About Phone section. You also have RAM boost. You can increase the RAM capacity by taking some from the storage size, camera resolutions, and display size. Now, if you want the extras come at software. Here we have the Moto app, which lets you personalize the software experience with fonts, themes, icon shapes, colors, lock screen, clock faces, as you can see here. And aside from that, later we have display size, layout, fingerprint animation, sounds, and a dark mode. Gestures are also part of the package, making the experience comfier. You also have the play area, so you're getting stereo speakers with lots of effects which you can tweak from here: spatial audio, smart audio, music, movie, and custom. You can set up your own equalizer as shown here. There's also a gaming department, considering that we have, once again, as I said before, 144 Hz. It's customary that we're also getting this, and also a sidebar which is triggered when you trigger a game, which actually I want to test this because, yeah. So when you're in a game, we have Moto Game Time here. It's a toolkit, and it opens up like this. These are the options: performance mode, CPU, GPU frequency, RAM allocation, temperature, capture, and so forth. Now, that's the gaming for you, but we're not done. We also have the Moto AI application. This one lets you generate artwork. You can use generative AI, create an image, create a sticker, sketch to image, and more. And then you have remember this, if you want to remember something that's on the screen or in a meeting. And also you have pay attention, which is basically your secretary on your phone: record, transcribe, summarize, audio, brainstorming, presentation, interviews, catch me up. If you're in a movie and you leave the phone away, you're going to have 30 notifications, and this catches you up. That's pretty much it as far as Moto AI is concerned. Then we have the Moto Secure. This is for your protection, and it includes a pin pad scramble. Basically, it jumbles the numbers of the pin, so it's harder to read over your shoulder. You have a secure folder. You have protection from online scammers. And then you also have family space. You can connect it with your little one, with your grandparent, and so forth. You can see the little one coming from school on the map. You can see what an elderly person is doing with family space. And of course, you can also disconnect if you want to Moto Unplugged. This one is basically a way of leaving the phone bare bones. No longer you have notifications and stress and things like that. And finally, you also have a note-taking application similar to the, I would say, iPhone one, but maybe with less AI than expected. Now, aside from that, finally, we have Smart Connect. You can interconnect with everything from a laptop, watch, a tablet, TV, headphones, and a few more, even your iPhone, apparently. So you can use the phone as a webcam, hotspot. You can share the screen, share the cursor. You can lock your PC with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, even though it doesn't have power in the name like some other Motorola phones, it's a battery phone, 7000 mAh. The official promo pics have it charging other devices, which is definitely possible, and also it has a pretty bright AMOLED screen, which is great for gaming on account of the 144 Hz. The CPU is also pretty solid for the mid-range department, but India is getting a better one. So, by the way, you also have Gemini available here, as shown here with Gemini Live. You also have Perplexity. As usual, Moto is bundling it with some period of, well, accounts. And at the back side, you can see an inscription here which says Lithia. The main sensor is a quality Sony Lithia one. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. This is the unboxing so far, so definitely an enjoyable Edge and quite the upgrade from the predecessor in CPU, screen, and battery. That's it from us. Goodbye.